What is up, people? ToadSlayer72 here. Thanks for joining me. And in this video I'm going to discuss part of my organization system I use with my gear. It's just one little aspect of what I do, but I am what I like to term like a portable angler or a mobile angler, in the sense that I have to bring all of my gear with me to the lake, and I'm starting out with an empty vessel. I fill it up, set my camera up, all my gear, everything to fish, and then when I'm done, I'm breaking everything down and bringing it out with me. So I have to pack all my stuff in. Because of that, over the years, I've refined, and I've gotten to the point where I got what I like to consider a pretty decent system for doing what I do. Now, this video is probably going to appeal to other mobile type of anglers, whether you're fishing out of a kayak, canoe, guys with car top, aluminum boats, rental boats, even shore anglers. Shore anglers got it, special needs for sure. Like, you're very limited in what you can bring. You're not stretching all your stuff out within the, expanse of a boat or a canoe or something. You guys are bringing everything with you, and you got it on your person. Also, like co-anglers in tournaments, like club guys. I'm not a tournament fisherman. I have no interest in it. It's not appealing to me in any way. But I know that co-anglers have special needs also as far as their gear. You're limited in what you can bring and things like that. So you have to remain mobile. So you guys that have the luxury of just rolling up to the lake, dumping your vessel in the water, and having all of your storage already sorted out, and you have all this room and everything's in the boat already, and you're just dropping in and hopping in and going, you may not get that much out of this video. I welcome anyone to watch any of my videos and discuss with me, but like I said, it's going to appeal to those quote-unquote mobile anglers. So let's get into this. Now, this is just part of my overall system, so I'm just going to discuss the essentials here. And this is my essentials pouch. Now, the idea behind this is that when I have this pouch, I know I have the things that I consider essential for any fishing. And we're not talking about lures and things like that. I'm talking about like accessories. So if I have this along with my camera and my camera pouch, it doesn't matter where I am or what my setup is. I know that I have what I consider to be the most important things. And this is interchangeable. You can add things, take things out. What you consider to be essential is it's gonna vary, And you should probably pay attention to the things you use most frequently. And maybe if you're gonna use a system like this, that's what you want to put in there. So this is my essentials pouch. My primary essentials right here. And I'll get into the contents now. So right off the bat is a scale. You should know how I feel about a scale by now, and you should feel the same way. So I'll just leave it at that. Gotta have a scale. That's in my essentials pouch. And we got my glasses. I have a dedicated pair of fishing glasses. I think when you have just a dedicated pair or two or three or whatever, if you have different lens combinations, I ultimately would like to get there. But for now, and for the past several years, I've had just one pair. They're pricey, but if you keep them and use them just for fishing, you'll get longevity like you won't believe. These things are practically brand new still. I paid a good bit of money for them. It's well worth it, and they're in great shape. So, dedicated fishing glasses. I'm not leaving these in my vehicle. I'm not leaving them in a backpack. They're in my essentials pouch. When I get to the lake, I know that they're there. So there's that. Alright, let's get into this little cluster here. These are my tools for the most part. And first of all, this little, we'll get into this. This little foam pad here, is for my pliers. I fish out of 100% aluminum boats. They're loud, they're slippery, if the boat gets jostled around. This is grippy, it's quiet, soft. I can keep my pliers on there, and if anything happens, my stuff's not sliding all over the place and making a racket and things like that. So, and I keep that right to my right side, and I know where it is. When I need my pliers, I got them. You know, they're right there. So that's that. I think this is for use for like kitchen uses. Same as this one here. You put them underneath mats or probably rugs on the floor, things like that. Little area rugs or whatever. They keep them from sliding. But I got this cheap dollar store type thing. So that's that. Now, what do we have left here? The Myclone stringer. If you're not familiar with the concept of a Myclone stringer, I first heard about it from, not personally from Myclone, but he was the one promoting this idea. And it is perfect for mobile anglers, guys that don't have live wells, especially dudes from shore. I mean, when you're on shore, man, you got a big fish and you got everything going on. You're trying to take pictures and get your camera set up or whatever. It's difficult because you're holding the fish the whole time. The concept behind this is it's just a stringer. It's a one fish at a time stringer. And you have a length of rope here. This one happens to be 10 feet long. I find that's a good working length. I also have it pulls double duty for me. I have another use for this, and I'll get into that in a second. But it's just an old school stringer hook with a security tab bent up on there, and you got to drill a hole through this part. Otherwise, it will slip. If it was pulled, this little collar will slide, and the whole thing comes apart. But when you put that little bend in there, that keeps it locked. And I got a carabiner on the other side. Nice thing about this is it's completely versatile. You can hook it onto a belt loop, or you can wrap it around things and then hook it, around a tree or your leg or your arm or your waist, whatever. So the carabiner is a nice little touch. It's just a rope. I have it stitched with braid underneath here, and I got some of that heat shrink tubing that they use in like electrical applications. You find them in like automotive sections of stores. They're really nice. It just cleans it up a little bit. But again, a nice little thing for if you don't have a live well, you catch a trophy fish, you want to get your stuff together, your camera, everything, your scale, get everything prepared. You put the fish on there and let it go chill out for a little bit. Let yourself chill out a little bit, get yourself together. I'm pretty much already together. I got my camera rolling, I got all my stuff ready, but still, the boat can get chaotic with lures and baits and your net and everything. Get yourself organized, and it's good to give the fish a little bit of a break. So you send it down, and then you bring it back up when you're ready to take a picture and weigh it and all that. I personally, since I have video running all the time, I weigh the fish immediately just in case there's any mishaps. I at least have that documented. But that's the Myclone stringer. Alright guys, I have to edit this in here. One thing I forgot to mention, when you're using this type of stringer setup, you need to be mindful of your surroundings. If you're going to be using a longer rope like this, you don't just haphazardly let the fish go down the full 10 feet or 8 feet or 12 feet or whatever length you end up working with, because there could be hang-ups in the area, and unless you're sure, and unless you're going to reposition your boat out in the wide open where it's not an issue, you have to be careful with that. There's been plenty of times where I've been in shallow water and such obstructions have been nearby, and I don't just give the fish all that slack. What I do, even though I do have that carabiner hooked onto my boat, I'll just wrap the rope around my foot a couple times and stand on it while I'm doing this other stuff. And as opposed to trying to revamp my whole system in that moment and go through this old rigmarole, I just wrap it around my foot real quick. So it keeps it flexible that way, and it's a quick and easy solution if there are obstacles and laydowns or whatever in your way where the fish could go get tangled up in. You don't want that to happen either. So just keep that in mind. I forgot to mention that before, so that's that. We move on. Now, with the Myclone stringer, I use this. This is a stream thermometer, and the nice thing about this is it's variable. You can rely on surface temperatures of transducers if you'd like. I personally don't like that. I want to send this down closer to the range that I'm going to be fishing in, the water column. So I actually attach this. It's one of the first things I do when I get to the lake. I set my camera up, and then I open this up and I send this thing down, especially in the springtime. I'm really on top of my temperatures in the spring. But I just hook it on here, and I can send this down up to 10 feet. And if that's not enough for you, you can hook it up on your line, send it down. But the variable nature of this is is what I am doing this for, because I want to know, like I said, I want to know what the temperature is down, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference. If you ever jumped in a lake, I mean, you could feel that temperature change, in just a few feet. So I want to know what it is where I'm fishing, and I use that with the Myclone stringer. If you didn't want to use the Myclone stringer or whatever, just get a dedicated piece of rope. You can put little hash marks on there for different lengths, and send it down like that. Like I said, all these things are going to vary from person to person based on what's a priority to you. That's just a little something that I like to do. Okay. Oh, this guy. This is just a piercing tool, again, for the Myclone stringer. Get up under the fish, I give it a quick little jab in the jaw underneath, like in the V of its chin, and then I hook the stringer on there. It's hard to penetrate with just that stringer hook. I learned that the hard way, especially with that little tab bent up. You'll tweak it. I mean, it's just too hard. I learned that this is quick and easy, and that's it. That's the only purpose for this, unless I have to fight off a bear or something one day maybe. But we got that. These are things, like I said, I want these things out and ready, and I want to know where everything is when that moment happens, when the chaos of catching a trophy caliber fish happens. I don't want to be struggling. I don't want to be digging for pliers or digging for this or digging for that while I'm holding this fish. I have a system here, and it's like boom, 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 and I'm organized with it. It makes it so much easier. Trust me, like I said, this has been refined over time, and all these little things here, they add up and they help. So this is out. This is ready to go. I got my Myclone stringer out. I have the carabiner hook to a screw eye in the boat. I have it laid out off to the side, out of the way, but the hook is close by. I grab it, I pierce this fish, and I put it in, and the fish is going in the water quickly. Speaking of quickly, here's pliers. Actually, I also have in my pouch my Leatherman. Now my Leatherman, the reason it's not in this wrapped up with all this stuff is because this gets used everywhere. Sometimes it is in a backpack and things like that, so I don't wrap it up. I just throw it. But that's the nice thing. In and out, interchangeable. You can add and take things out. But this is how I roll these two together. I like to have a pair of locking forceps for deeply hooked fish. I like to have them nearby and ready. You don't use them that much for that, but when you need it, again, I don't want to go digging for this when a fish is bleeding, especially a big one. I want to have them right there. Boom, 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 get it done. Other than that, anything hooked up in the mouth, I like a stout pair of pliers, so this is just what I've come to. Any needle nose. I actually have a backup pair of needle nose in case I do leave this in a backpack or my car or whatever. So, multi-tool is an essential for me. I like to have this. I could get away without this if I, use my Leatherman to cut line with, whatever, but it's just a cool little tool. I use it all the time. A little retractable string on there. I think it's about 3 feet long. But again, I use it enough so it stays out and nearby. I like to have it. And then in my pouch, finally, I have my scent. This is what I use on my soft baits all the time. And if I am going, like say, for a couple hours and it's just going to be a topwater trip, I won't even bring this. This stays home. But it's just my little scent jar. And I like to have that for my soft baits. I use it all the time with my soft baits. So there you go. I have a secondary essentials pouch, other things that are important, but you just don't use as often. These items I showed you today, these are the things that, like I said, I know I'm going to either want to use them, hope to use them, or I am going to use them. So everything's ready, and it's in a place in my boat, same place every time. And it just makes the, like I said, the chaos of that event when you catch a really good fish, it brings all of that down a notch to be organized. So, what else did I want to say? I thought there was something else I wanted to say. I guess that's it, really. The hallmark of this is that it's flexible, and if I'm going to be fishing from shore, which I do occasionally, I know I can just grab my essentials pouch. I can put one other thing in there for my secondary pouch, grab my camera, throw it in the backpack, couple lures, one rig, and I'm straight. And then when I get home, this goes back into its place. And then next time I go, I know where it all is. So, I hope this helps. Hope some of you guys get something from this. I appreciate you watching, and I always welcome discussion, and maybe you want to share some of the things that you do. I bet you the kayak community, kayak anglers, I bet you that community has a bunch of cool stuff. I don't fish from a kayak. I never have. I don't think I ever will. But I can see those guys, because that's completely, those dudes are just sitting there, so they got to have everything. I bet you those guys really have cool little tricks that they do. But anyway, I welcome any ideas, discussion, and again, thank you very much for watching, and take care, guys.